we are training. My buddy Josh is going to be coming to work for us and run our sawmill. And so today we're going to be doing some training on the mill. And so I figured I'd take you guys along for the ride. Come on over here, Josh. So this is our cut sheet. Let's flip this around. So every time I get a new job, I'll give you a picture of what we're building. So and you'll get, as you do more, you'll understand what's what and labeled and like certain things like posts. We don't care if they have a little bit of wane on them. So you'll start to learn, what's acceptable and what's different about each piece. But anyway, the cut sheet has labeled what it's for. So you got your posts, header, footer, your feet, and then your cross braces, which are here. What it is, 6x6, 6'6" is your minimum. So, round up, but that starts to play a big part. So you'd round up normally to say 7 feet, but I've already rounded up. So whatever the measurements are on here, if it's cut exactly at that, that's fine because I've already rounded up. But typically you try and give me like an extra 6 inches of trim because you'll cut a beam and the end of it might be fucked up. Board footage. So we got 2 posts, 6x6. It's a total of 42 board feet, and then the price of what it's actually costing. So this is a super small pack. This should be cut in half a day once you know what you're doing and getting going. But we're trying to produce minimum of trying to produce a minimum of 300 board feet a day, but goal is to hit 500 a day. And it depends on what it is. Like Ed hit 700 the other day because he was using resaws and cutting rafters, so it was the same. He cut like 15 of the same thing. So he's able to grab out of the resaw pack, throw it up here, stack a few together, and cut 3 or 4 at a time. So it's it's possible. We just have to. Depends on what you're cutting, and the manipulating of the logs, getting shit over here is the hard part. The running the mill is the easy kind of cool part, but it's getting the logs over here, mapping them out, all that kind of shit is the tougher part. Just magnet up there. Yeah, let's go check our resaws and see what we got. Actually, grab that sheet, will you? So today we're going to be running the mill and training Josh. He's going to be coming on in a few weeks, and that'll be his main deal. So these are packages that we cut our beam package out of, and then if they come out kind of crappy or what's left over on the beam, we stack them here to be resawn. So we always try and pull from here first if you can. Obviously, always use resaw. These look pretty good. Inspect these a little bit. I got some logs from the owner too, and they'd been sitting on the ground for a year or two, and so they got kind of punky, which is like that
spongy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, spongy, and like this outer edge. So I think this for his logs. These will work, but everything we need is 7 feet or less, I think, except for that header. So I may, let's go ahead and grab this guy, but I may just grab us a fresh short log because we're always trying to get rid of those fucking shorties anyway.
Okay.
So I'll boom the lift over here, and this is the shitty part about the resaws is, you know, if you need that,
right,
you got to dig. But let's just strap it. I'll boom the lift over up here, roughly center. Put the strap around it, feed it back through itself so it's a choker. Just hook it on my fork, and then you'll have to balance it as it comes out.
The straps in the forklift or on it?
No, we keep them. I mean, sometimes they are, but you got 3 or 4 different strap sizes. These yellow guys, anytime you're using a log, something heavy, always use the yellow ones.
All right.
These little stuff, we can use whatever. Here we go. Is that strap gonna be long enough?
I think so. Might have to come down and angle it down.
I can't. Forks?
Fork down.
Up?
Yeah. Up. Nope. Up. Fork up.
Just kind of set it on top and then walk around. You grab the phone. All right, giddy up. First in, you're already cameraman. Oh, come on. So we just need to pull the locks. Or the dogs. We call them locks or lock dogs. Pull them out. Hold up.
You're gonna need this to turn it? Or we can do it by hand probably, huh?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, leave it out. Let's see. Whoa! I set that up to get you.
Tricky boy.
Let's see, where should we put this damn thing? Sure, that looks like a good spot. You guys feel safe there? All right.
Pretty nifty little octopus hands there.
Yeah, I need a taller one. I really want to. I can't find a good one, but I need some kind of head mount or chest mount, or you gotta be. I mean, you can't be walking around like you were doing. You know what I mean? You gotta have some kind of fucking. Okay, so before we start, grab that torque wrench. First thing I always do is check the guides. So every day when we are done with the machine, you detension it to take the pressure off the blade.
Okay.
So it's flimsy. I just give it like 5 or 6 loosens. You know, just take the high pressure off. So before we start, I always check my bearings and my guides. This is already like, that shouldn't be touching. The blade shouldn't touch the bearing unless, like until the blade, it should be about that far away, about an 1/8 inch away from the bearing.
Okay.
If the blade's good and sharp and all that kind of stuff. Once it gets dull, then it's more friction. And so it'll, as it cuts, it'll push into that bearing. So yeah, always make sure your bearings are moving. This one's starting to seize up. I'm going to switch bearing type. Like this setup is dog shit. So we're going to switch, but we have to switch these bearings out probably once a month.
Okay.
Because they seize up. This one's shot, but I'm going to go ahead and let it ride for the moment so we can cut. Tension bolt up here. So we set our blades to 70 foot-pounds, which is roughly 22,000 PSI. I don't have one of those fancy PSI readers or tensile strength or whatever. They're like $500 or $600, but we can go. Also, first couple cuts of the day, recheck it. And definitely when you put a new blade on, which you put a new blade on pretty much every day, we'll put one on at some point. Recheck because they'll stretch. So every couple cuts, just give it a test.
Which is like every 4th tooth is kicked up.
So it is down, flat, and up. I think it's every 3rd, if I remember right. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's, yeah. So down tooth, flat, up. Down tooth, flat, up.
Okay.
So that's relevant. That's called the kerf. But basically the distance between the high tooth and the low tooth is the kerf of the blade. That's what you're going to lose as in your cut. So the machine already has that factored in. We've set it at an 1/8 of an inch. So I'll get more into that, but it knows as you punch in your numbers, it accounts for the kerf. But if you're doing something by hand, and you're measuring, then you need to know, like, if you're trying to keep the board on the bottom, obviously measure to the lowest tooth. Trying to get the board on top, highest tooth. So, ooh, that's pretty good. It's already a 6-inch cant. So if it's cut top and bottom like this, it's called a cant. The pie-shaped ones, we call them quarters. If that was cut in half, that would be a quarter. That'd be a, I don't know, half round or whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever the fuck, what it looks like is what you call it. So we're good at 6. We need some 6x6. Oh, that stinks. We need 2 at 6'6". This is under. That stinks. So we won't be able to get 2 this way.
Where's your header? 6 foot. What was it?
The header is 10 feet, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll probably get one of our posts and the header out of this. This is a stand. So this guy, clean choice.
Yeah.
He's going to do a demo at one of these house shows, and I don't know if he's cleaning windows, but he's putting up blinds. He sells blinds and cleans blinds. And so that's what we're building this for.
Okay.
So this is the garbage part about this mill that we're going to fix in the next month or 2. These are crap. You should be able to spin these independently.
Yeah.
So like as I lift this, the stop also comes up.
Oh, I see. Which
sucks. You want your stops wherever you want, and then these you might need to put them somewhere else. Higher on the log or lower. So the fact they go up together is dumb.
You want that off, or you just?
I think I'm gonna use it.
You just kind of brace it against it?
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. This is pretty flat. Yeah, let's just try.
So everything's got to get pushed that way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, depending on, like, if we were making this 6-inch cut, it could stay in the middle and you don't have to clamp it. It's heavy enough. It's not going to move. You know what I mean? But your throat, the blade guide, it's better if it's over here and the blade's not spanning 3 feet without being supported. So typically, yeah, we try and shove everything this way.
You can tilt it up?
Yeah, sure. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. So now is where this is important. There's 2 different ways to do this. Either we square it up now to the bunks and make our cut, and that cut is final. Or, because a lot of times, like this live edge, this is pretty subtle. This is a pretty straight log, but a lot of times the live edge is crazy.
Right.
And so it's difficult to stand up and square it like we just did. So what we'll do in that case is we'll get it close like this, make that cut, and then flip it over. That way it's relatively flat, which sucks because now you're adding a cut and you're adding a flip, but sometimes you have to. But this one's relatively flat, so we'll just square it up. Always square off the doublers. See how this one's all bent to shit and messed up? So always square off the doublers, which are every other one, I believe. Yeah. So, and you got to consider where you're going to put these in relation to your cut, because we're about to bring the bandsaw through. So go ahead and get that locker close. I need something to drink. Cottonmouth.
So what, you're just gonna do like a 1/2 inch cut?
Yeah, we'll get out of the wane, get out of the live edge. But since it's relatively straight and flat, we're gonna go ahead and square it up as is. Other crappy part about these locks is they literally won't lock straight on. They need to be kicked at an angle more to lock good. So we have to use spacers, which you typically do anyway, just so you're protecting the wood. But sorry, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Let's map it out. So we've tested until you get way down there, the bunks are relatively parallel to the ground. So before, we were always measuring off the bunks to find the center of the log, or to, you know, reference if it's level. But you can use the ground. And so we've got our heart right there, which we're trying to stay away from. And we just need to make sure that the log is relatively not level, but parallel with the tracks. So we got 26 inches ish to the heart there. And 26 and a half down here. So we're going to raise, yeah, exactly. So in this cant situation, it's a little bit different, but ordinarily always put the skinnier end of the log facing the head.
Right.
Because that's what you're going to yield.
So the heart, you want to say like what's the
about an inch.
About
an inch away from the heart, yeah. The further the better. You know, we prefer, so logs have, let's go back down here. Let's find a good log and go over that. Yeah. All right, so like I said, you'd always map looking at the small end, but whatever, we'll look at this end. So as right away, I'm noting that all this bruising, that's all sap, and we don't know how far it's going into the log. So we're going to try and stay away from that as much as possible. Also, these checking, this was probably longer, and we bucked it off to see if this checking disappeared. But we want the checks to be going in one direction, because then we can mill above and below it.
So like those two right there, they're intersecting.
Right.
Can you use this section here?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, anything that's out of the checks. But, you know, ideally, we try not to have logs like this. We try not to have multiple directions of checks, because it just minimizes what you can yield. But so typically we would like say cut another 3 feet off this log to try and get this check in one direction. But because this is such a big log and it's such a short log, we've got room to.
And it's only as big as that end.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Always map everything out from that side. We have what I was gonna say is so yeah, about an inch away. Man, this is a tight log for the first few years. It's normally, dumbass, get out of the way, damn puppy. So normally the tree grows fast the first like 10-20 years. It'll have big rings, and then it slows down and gets tighter, whereas this is kind of in reverse, which is weird. So it grew real slow when it was young, and then it started speeding up. But you got sapwood. See this kind of discoloration here?
Yeah.
That's sapwood. And then towards the core, you also find a lot, because when the tree's smaller and weaker, it's more vulnerable to getting damaged. And so you find a lot of damage near the core too. So yeah, we try and stay about an inch or so away. But if you can stay even further away, cut out here and leave the center as your resaw. I'd rather have a big section in here rather than cut close to the heart and leave a big section out here.
Right.
We try and cut out here and leave the big in the middle. Yeah. All right. All right, you guys got some log knowledge. Let's try and get some cuts done. All right, so we have a 4x4 jack in there to raise, if it's a big log, jack up whatever side and get it level. But I think this thing's light enough. We can probably just pry it up or whatever. That'll probably be perfect. So just shove that under there or something. That's pretty good. So we had 26.5 down there, so we're probably looking at, and you got to remember, as you raise this side, you're lowering that side. So 26.25 or so, that should be good. Yeah, it's close enough. If it's within a 1/4 inch, in fact, if it's a big log, it's within a 1/4 or 3/8, maybe even 1/2 inch. Just fucking go with it. Should be fine.
Okay. But for finished product, you said you're going within a 30-second?
Yeah. As far as the cuts go, I mean, the log can be, especially if it's 30 feet long, if it's a 1/2 inch out of parallel, it doesn't, doesn't really matter over that distance. The shorter the distance, the more dramatic, you know what I mean? But yeah, as far as finished cuts, we try and make them as precise as possible, because when I'm doing all the math, if I have a 10 by 10, I'm going to expect it to be 10 by 10. If it turns out to be 10 1/8, that's going to fuck us up. I mean, it happens every day, but try and have as consistent of a cut as possible. So we have some standard sizes in the shed, like 7 by 14, 10 by 10. We just cut them out of cardboard or cut them out of plywood or something.
Right.
That way you can just go up to the end of a log, slap it on there and see. But for this, I'll just measure. So we need a 6 by 6, and I've got about 8 inches to the heart, so that should be good. Basically, I'm just gonna cut right here at the lowest point, get rid of this top slab, and then we'll drop down 6 inches, make our next cut, and that should leave us, roughly an inch away from the heart. So let's get her locked, and I try, if we can, if this is super tall, then you got to have your locks up pretty high. But I want to let's try and lock it below the heart so I can make both of these cuts.
All right.
You know what I mean?
And this is square enough for you?
No, let's check that. This is important. Getting it square part. That's why we go through the bullshit of sometimes making a faux cut, rolling it. It being square is pretty damn important. So it needs to be as tits as possible. You come down here and
You want me to hold this or kick it?
I will call that good. Yeah, so go ahead and drop it down below the halfway point. Yeah, that should be good. Then grab a spacer. Pull this up. There you go. And then you got to push this bottom. So hold that up. That's why these things suck. See, when you just pinch that, it pushed me away at a square.
Right.
This is why this is such a pain in the butt, and these lockers suck. So we'll try and adjust that side, but potentially we might have to raise these back up get our first cut and do the bullshit. Oh, this is a single. Put that side. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, huh?
I mean, I've been saying forever, I just need 3 hands.
Yeah.
This is lock or something?
That's the, so push it down. That's your locker. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Damn it.
What you need is like a spacer on the other side, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can raise that locker up. So we only need to be right about there, so we can raise it as high as we can. Pull that handle back out, kick that bottom tight with your foot. There you go. Lock it. Yeah, we're changing these as soon as possible. We're gonna go to a twist. It'll just be like an all thread.
Mm-hmm.
You twist it and that'll push it in. I'm gonna re-weld these on a tube so they can spin freely. A lot of changes need to be made. These things stink. You can see what I mean about the manipulation of the log is the hardest part.
Right.
So any way we can speed that along, any ideas we come up with.
Trend.
Huh?
What?
Trend? Yeah. We push on the bottom. I'm gonna try and shim the top
Of the
log. Just kind of put your foot in there and push. Yeah. Let's see if I can shim this bitch out. That felt pretty decent.
I don't know where your square went.
No, it's still kicked.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think we're just gonna make the cut.
All right.
It's too difficult. Let's just do the flat thing and roll it. It's a light piece.
The water.
The water.
I know the blade obviously has its lube.
Mm-hmm.
Are you spraying the whole time?
No. So the water is just to clean up. You're gonna get a bunch of buildup of sawdust, on the gears over here.
Okay.
Everywhere. Sawdust is gonna build up everywhere. So the hose is one to fill the tank, which is the lube.
Okay.
If we happen to get like some pitchy logs or it's cold or something, like we'll add some soap to it to give it a little more lubrication. But generally speaking, water is fine and it doesn't have to be a lot.
So you got to lube everything with oil after the day is done, right?
We just we'll like spray it. Yeah. I mean, the gears and the guides and stuff, we'll hit them with some spray lube, but no, not even every day. I'd say once a week or something.
How often do you need grease in the bearings?
Like one squirt once a month.
That's it?
Yeah. We just blew one of these bearings twice.
From putting too much in there?
I guess. That's what they said. They said it should only, I think he said 30 to 40% is what grease capacity should be in there. And yeah, we were pumping it. Because most bearings, you pump it until you...
conveyor truck, you go until you see the old shit's out.
But he's saying basically with these pillow bearings, if there's too much grease in there, you're actually creating like more friction, more...
Right.
It's harder for the bearings to move around. So yeah, just one squirt in that dirt once a month and should be good. That side has new pillow bearings. That's the side that's been fucking up. But anywho. Lou, some water? All right. You're gonna be a sis about it. All right, so machine. Okay, so this is like the kill switch.
Right.
End of the day, I don't know why it was on, but normally you just pull it out. So no kids can come by, turn it on. The power button's right here, but we hardly, I mean, just, I don't even worry about the button, just do the kill switch. This is your, kind of your gauge. So obviously it gives you your digital, and this is off the bunk. So you got your up, down. So we are, oh, it's hard to see in the camera, all glitchy.
14 and a 32nd.
Yeah. Off of the bunks.
So you go to 26 and a quarter.
What were we? That was off the ground.
Oh. So you're just going to manually adjust that until you see it's at the corner right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for the first cut, yeah.
Typically, how much play do you like from that, your guide there?
A couple inches.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that fine, or you want it closer?
It's fine. Yeah. I mean, if it starts getting wider, then I pay more attention to it. I want it as close as I can. But in this situation, you know, it's only open a foot or so. It's fine. And you just adjust that right here.
This thing not have power running to it?
No.
Okay.
It's all self-serving. I wish we had power out here. But yeah, no, everything runs off of the motor and the battery that's on the motor. But
where's the battery at? Oh, I see it.
Yeah, right in the middle. This is your T. Just adjust your doodad in and out. All right.
So you pretty much only go off of this. You don't use that very much?
No, we never look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't even pay attention to that. Yeah, everything is off of this. Everything should be calibrated. There's buttons under here. I don't even know why they're here, but if you touch them, it fucks everything up on the calibration. So that's why we take these off. So only use this for your up, down. Go ahead and raise it up. Get it to that low point. Sure. Yeah. You can see how our cant here is at a square with the bunks. And so we were trying to get it square to make our cut final, but it's being a pain in the butt. So we're going to make an out of square cut and then roll the log over, and that'll make our job a little easier. Okay, so we already torqued it. So we're ready to rock. Go ahead and turn it on with the key.
Oh, it's not diesel.
I do that too.
I was like sitting there waiting. Everything I have is diesel.
Yeah, no, I do the same. Okay, hit that black. That's the engage. That right under the key is that black switch. That's going to engage it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why it's like that, but forward and reverse. And so we're just going to real slowly turn the water on. I'll explain that, I guess. So, let's turn the water on about halfway. Okay. When the blade's moving, you'll see the water hitting the blade. And if you've got too much, it'll roll off the front of the blade. Too little, it'll roll off the back of the blade. So you want to just adjust.
Front is the teeth?
Yeah. So you want to adjust your water so that it's right in the middle of the blade, basically.
Okay.
That's coming off the front, okay? What?
Did you say that's coming off the front?
Yeah. Pretty good right there.
Okay, yeah.
It's not super important, but you know, that's where we're trying to be. So go ahead and real slowly start the beat and just let it take its way in until the whole blade is in the wood, and then you can turn it up a bit. So I told him to slowly, until when we're doing our first cut, we just very slowly get the blade into the wood. And then once the whole blade is in the wood, then you can turn up the speed. About that. The top is kind of worn off, but I don't know how old this blade is. So we're going to go a little bit slower, but normally we have it about halfway. Okay, just pretty quick. You do shims? Oh, as needed. So it just walks the cut. Yeah. And you notice that the top slab is the tension in the grain is sucking it tight. And when you get to the end, yeah, we'll put some shims in it. But this one's opening up, right? So it's happening in our favor. I'll get down here and just look and make sure that it looks like it's cutting flat. If the blade gets dull or any of that shit, you'll start to see some bullshit happening. Okay. But it looks like it's cutting good. Go ahead and turn it up a little faster.
So you're looking for the waves in it. What else are you looking for?
Once we pull it off, we'll see if it looks fuzzy. That's also a good determiner of the blade's gold. So if you're cutting the big cut, if you're cutting like a wide cut, like say a 30-inch wide cut, you'll probably stay by the machine. Right? And something like this, once you get going, you can start fucking with other stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. So once it gets out, kill the water, turn the blade off. Okay, so something I forgot to do is set the cut. So the motor actually doesn't have to be running for it to, it only has to be running to turn the blade.
Okay.
So for it to move up and down, back and forth, it doesn't have to be on. But, so that was our first cut. We normally hit this button. It saves it as our cut.
Okay.
So now I can adjust off of that. There's some settings and stuff in here, like, you know what? I need to go through stuff before I try to teach you.
You got a manual?
Yeah, I got a good video. And
Manuals with fags, right?
Yeah, yeah. But these are all settings like 1.5 inch, 4 inch, 8 inch, 10 inch. Those are common numbers for us.
Okay.
So you can punch that in, hit enter. I just can't remember if it goes up or down and what I can't remember. So we're just gonna do it manually.
Is there a cancel button in case it starts going the wrong way?
I don't remember. I gotta update myself. But anyway, so we're at this point, just jump it up. Since you have the live edge on, you need to go up to accommodate that. But generally, like after this cut, if we got rid of that live edge and we got our nice flat cut, we would just hit this button here and it automatically jumps up 1 inch and can return.
Okay.
But alright, so I know that's above, reverse. Let her go back. As she's going back, this is small enough, just hand load it. I would just pull that off and set it down there, I guess, for now.
Just on the...
Yeah, just on the bunks down there. And then at the end of the day, we'll pick them up, put them in the firewood.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot more wood in that pile than I thought.
Yeah.
I filled up my truck. I was like, fuck. I did get like halfway through it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Go and pull that and just throw it on the bunks. Now, every cut, I like to scrape.
Spray what?
Scrape.
Oh.
One,
Yeah.
you're inspecting for lots of reasons, but one, you're inspecting your cut.
Will this stop? Sorry to cut you off.
No, it won't. No, you have to stop. I mean, it will stop, but we don't want that to happen. And just try and throw it over the pile, but so it shows you what it's actually going to look like. It's pretty. So we scrape it for one, because then it's a final product. You know, if the guys don't scrape, like we'll get a whole package. We'll have sawdust stuck to it.
Right.
And then it just gets in the shop. So we just scrape every cut. Plus you're looking for fuzziness. This actually looks pretty good. So you'll notice like this, but way worse.
Okay.
And coming out of the middle when the teeth aren't sharp. So we're looking pretty good. So we'll just roll this over and start our next cut.
So in there, I was looking at some of your beams that are stained.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed some of those, they look like they were done by a chainsaw. And then there was other parts that looked, similar to this.
You'll have to show me. We do use a separate band. Was it on a curved piece?
It was on that piece, but not on the curve. The curve was smooth.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to show me. So we do get, this is called skipping. See that little blade flutter?
Yeah.
See the little, where the teeth are hitting. I like that look. Some people don't. I think it looks cool. So we don't try and prevent it, but you can actually create that by bending just like one or two of your teeth a little bit harder. Yeah. And it'll still cut the same, but it'll leave more scratches. But god dang good. Oh, I got such bad cotton mouth. Didn't even do no marijuana drugs.
You don't do no marijuana? A square. You said we're flipping this now, right?
Yes, sir. So that's what these are for. Sometimes these will get really stuck. So that's what these are for.
Okay.
You'll put them in like that. And it helps yank it out.
Gotcha.
But sometimes you don't have to. But you do, because these are so messed up, you have to use this hammer to get it freaking loose. And I try and always put this stuff, anything that we use, put it on top of the bunks, because this will get covered in crap. Like I just cleaned it, so it's not that bad, but anything we're reusing, try and put on top of the bunks. Man, these things suck. Pull your lock dog back. Roll her up. Yeah, so now it'll be much easier. Now we can use...
Okay, I see you got some little tabs here too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I won't get into that. We're adjusting all that crap too. Because when you're slammed all the way here, and you're doing a deep, like a low cut, this wheel gets in your way.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna adjust that a little bit, so the log's slightly more centered by a couple inches. Let's actually let's do that. Let's space it out a little bit. We'll throw this guy in there.
Oh, I see.
All right. So now we need to re-square it and shim it up. Get that square. All right.
Which side you
So we need the top to come this way. So we'll shim that side. One of those bad boys in there. Might need a couple. Right about there. She moved. Yeah, it's still.
Oh. Pushing into the bunk.
Oh, I see. Sorry, my bad. I forgot this was here. So we should actually be shimming the bottom.
Oh, underneath. I got
yeah,
you.
I forgot that was there. Yeah, we might not be.
So how you want to do that with this one on the other side? You just do it from this side? Or you can't, huh?
Let's just pull it out. Moss, right about there. Yeah, keep going. One, we got to get it off that track anyway.
Oh,
That's where our wheels come.
Got
Even
enough
more.
room? More?
So add that may work, but you can also put one in like that and then kind of come in sideways. Yeah, take that, back that other one off a little bit. Yeah, that's not bad. I'll keep that.
How much space do you need away from the track? Is that?
Probably about a 1/2 inch. That's pretty close. I can live with that.
You said you like that?
I can live with that, yeah.
All right.
So check that side and put in whatever needed to support it. Oh, sorry.
Well, you like that? That's about pretty close to what you had on the other side.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Okay.
Yeah, the longer or the taller the thing, the more
Square it needs to be.
no, the more allowance you have.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a short piece and it's an 1/8 inch at a square, then it's an 1/8 inch at a square. But if it's 2 feet tall and it's an 1/8 inch at a square, you're going to be cutting that 2 feet into smaller pieces, and so that out of squareness shrinks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh. So even though it's where we want it, you still want to support this. So put something in there. Oop. Go. All right, slap some locks on there, somewhere low like that.
Right there?
Yeah, sure. Hold this handle out. Kick that with your foot. Go. Sure that works.
Oh, oh.
There we go. So I actually just felt that move. Yeah, check it for square. Yeah, dude, we gotta get this fixed. This takes way too long.
That's better, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so you see this fuzziness?
Yeah.
That's what we're like. That was a dull
blade.
Yeah. All right, so same thing. Take it up, cut it at the lowest point, relock it.
Okay.
And then we'll pull that live edge off, and then you can drop down 6 inches and make your final 6-inch cut. This guy's got a magnet right here. All right, Josh is going to do this one all by himself. So just get close, turn your blade on, turn your water on, inch real slowly into it until your blade's buried, and then go ahead and turn it up.
All right.
You're good. And the controls are pretty reactive, so you can like go fast and slow it down, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Once you get, comfortable doing it. Yeah, you're good there. You got plenty. You want some ear protection?
I got some in my truck. Am I missing
Safety
this? Oh,
first,
you got to
kids.
start it.
Safety first. Josh is already deaf, so protect them ears. Put this with no water. Okay. Look at that, an hour of training and he's dirty cut. That bearing is not a constant thing. It's just every once in a while it hits that bearing, right? Guys, say again. That bearing is not constantly engaged. It just hits it every so often, right? Yeah. It shouldn't. Ideally, it never touches the bearing. Okay. Let's turn it. Get up for one. Keep an eye on your cut. If it's closing or opening, you need to shim it. You probably always have wedges over here to be ready. So the tension in the wood as you cut it will either be in your favor or against your favor. This gap here, we're kind of watching that. If as we cut, this gap is closing tight, that means the tension in the grain is fighting us. It's pinching the blade, and if that happens, then as we're cutting, we'll come through and add some wedges to separate it and help us out. Did you set your cut?
I did not. I was gonna ask. We missed just a little bit off this edge here.
Oh, the wane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. So again, you'll start to learn where wane's okay, yada yada. But generally speaking, a little bit of wane like that, totally fine.
Okay.
So we call it a half inch to an inch of wane. You know, if it only travels back a half inch or so, we're fine with that.
Okay. Which one? The middle one?
No, that one. Yep. That sets your. Now it knows your cut.
How do I know that it took it?
That green light just showed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was, that green light was up here, and once you hit it, now it turns on. Now it knows that's your center point.
Okay.
It's probably good.
That's a cool Jeep.
Yeah, just let her roll back. Pull your slab down to the end. Let's see how pretty this thing is. Oh yeah. See, okay. See, now we're getting a little fuzzy.
Right. Is that because you didn't run water?
What's that?
Is that because you didn't run water?
I don't know. I think it might be because of the blades getting a little dull. We'll do a couple more cuts. These aren't high ticket items. You know what I mean? So we'll kind of stretch the blade life. But yeah, now that we know it's getting fuzzy, let's go ahead and run water on the next one to see if it's any different. But probably not. We'll probably just, after we cut a few more cuts, we'll swap the blade.
All right. So here.
Okay, so
we saved it.
It saved it. So, gosh dang it. Can't remember which button it is. See, there's. Yeah, I'll go do some research. So just know your number. We're doing a 6x, so drop it down to 13 and 1/16. Right here. Yeah. It's pretty sensitive, so you'll go. You go a lot.
It's hard to read that fucking thing.
Is it?
You said in 1/16?
Yeah. We go down. One more. One more. Oh no, that's a 30-second.
Yeah.
Go up one. I wish this thing didn't do 30 seconds.
I can't hit it. You show me how to do it.
There we go.
Ooh, all right.
So it jumps in 30 seconds. So just a pop is a 30-second.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoa. Sorry. I get you.
No, you got your dog. And then are you coming and checking it?
No.
No?
No, I'm not gonna. No. This is where you gotta save that time. You know, you gotta once
and look
yeah.
like 6 inches.
So that's where I need to go do a little research, because one of these buttons tells you what the fuck?
That's what I was saying. Because we didn't go back down to that cut we had after I raised it. I saved it.
Yeah, you're right. You did save it. Okay, so just take it back up and it'll show us. See, this arrow says you're below your cut.
Okay. So
now we're at 0.
Okay.
0. apparently, oh, okay. So we're at 0, which is 14 3/4.
So we want to go to 8 3/4.
Yeah.
See, that's why I asked. I was like, you double check it when you go?
Yeah. Yeah, my bad. Yes, you should be ready to rock. But we need to pay attention to the wheel. Looks like it's close. I don't care if we cut through those 2x4s. Just obviously we can't cut through the metal.
Right. I think you're good on the wheel, maybe.
Yeah, wheel looks good. I think you're good all the way around. When you're starting, like really even slower than what you did. See if it's not something like slow down, harder wood. But yeah, it's not. It's making that out bad now. Ooh, right. The vibration let that lock down. I would just gonna hold it.
I don't need to save a cut. I just go down another 6 inches, right?
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing. Or yes, you can, but we have our heart. Right. We want to exclude, so
we gotta flip it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. Go ahead and send her back. Yeah, we'll go ahead and flip it. Put some speed on that bitch. Full throttle. It's getting warm.
Getting there.
You need a treat in your life, sweet angel? There you You have to tell your wife. You get a lot of attention out here. When we getting hogs, imagine you get some booby flashes.
I'll take a booby flash.
Yeah, it's a good way to brighten your day.
I've seen a lot of shit as a truck driver too.
I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet.
And like legit, like traffic, dude. Just girls going to town.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, more so than the guys. Legit,
Nice.
and it's always like probably like 30 to 40 age range.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if they're just like lonely, divorced, or what, but yeah, they'll go to town.
Dang.
I
need to get a higher lift on my truck. All right, so she's a finished product. So we'll grab the lift. I mean, you kind of depends on the situation. We could pull it down the bunks and just kind of make our stack there, and then at the end of the day, pick it all up. But we've already got our straps there. So I'll grab the forklift. We'll pick this up. And we typically put our finished product before it goes in the shop right there on those bunks.
Okay.
We'll just set everything over there, and then at the end of the day, we'll take it in. Yeah, I'll boom this over.
More. I can't do that.
Push that bar up first. Yeah. Maybe you need to tilt more.
That's what I said.
Oh, sorry. Add it all the way.
That or I'm just a pussy.
Just push that close to the beam. And I'm not gonna worry about it today. Normally,
Sleeves.
yeah, put sleeves on the forks to protect it. But like I said, this is not a super high end deal. I'll be burning these
Oh, cool.
torches, so if they get a little dirty, it doesn't matter. So roll it over, straight both cuts. And it's actually better. A lot of people think your load should be here. You want the load at the end of your forks, unless it's like uber fucking heavy or something.
Okay.
You can manipulate the fork. You can see everything better, and you can place shit better if it's at the end of the forks.
Right. Oh, look out, girl.
I think you may be right that the water helps get at least not look as fuzzy.
Lube's always worked for me.
Huh?
Lube has always worked for me.
Yeah.
I just can't figure out how to get them wet.
Can't figure out what?
Didn't get wet.
We did nip that 2x4
Yeah.
block. All right, I'm gonna go set this. Go ahead and pull these locks off, roll it over, and then now we're gonna be measuring 6 inches off the bunks to get our other 6x6 from here down.
Okay.
Now we know these two sides are square.
Right.
Square this side up, and then our blade is a 90-degree from that. So these two sides, all three of these sides should be square. It's just our bottom cut that's out of square. We'll roll that over. Add a square cut will be facing up. We'll cut that off.
So we're doing another small pass.
No, we should be able to just go, once it's rolled over, now we're going to go from the bottom up 6 inches, and that bottom piece will be our keeper. What's on top will be firewood or whatever.
Gotcha. So this has got to be super low. Oh, we're going 6 inches up.
Got it split?
Yeah.
You check the square?
Yeah.
That should be 2 cents now at this point. So I wouldn't even worry about it. Just lock it at this point. Now
I was going to ask when it's that small.
Yeah, as long as it's heavy enough. And, we have to lock it if it's tall, because we got to trench the square.
Right.
But this is heavy enough, and we know it's square, so it just makes the cut. I mean, it can be, out in the middle or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, this is perfect. The distance
Yeah.
off of there, that's what we want.
Maybe you're getting a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Probably from that bearing. Or is it not touching at all? Keep spinning it. Right there. Stop. Go back.
Yeah, that's fine. The belt.
Yeah.
This side. So this is the drive side. For whatever reason, just these wheels are exactly the same size. Belts are the same. But for whatever reason, this side is tight as ass, and that side's loose. This side has more pressure on it, I guess. I don't know.
Do you worry about build up on there?
Yeah. Whenever you start the day, change the blade, anything like that, for sure. This is just sawdust, so it shouldn't be the end of the world. But if you notice pitch build up, for sure, yeah, we need to try and.
You just do alcohol or something?
We've just been scraping them, but alcohol's a good idea, yeah. So yeah, if you see build up, just take a scraper and scrape it off.
while it's on, could you do not a wire brush, obviously, but a brush just
Probably. Yeah. Or even the
scraper?
Scraper. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just try and do everything. When it pops, you're protected back here. But if the band ever pops, it comes this way. Okay. So do any kind of that type of shit from standing in here. It if it breaks, it doesn't spin a whole lot. It only moves like halfway. Typically throws it this way a little bit, but it's a fraction of a second. It throws, but it doesn't spin much because there's not catching on anything.
Right.
So yeah, let's take her down to 6.
So
these
am I going for my last cut?
These measurements are, this number here is always
where
what's
I'm at
off the bunk.
Okay.
So if you just take that down to 6, should be good. Now on this one, because I can't remember, like I was saying about from top down or bottom up, I can't remember the setting. So on this one, we will check. Like go ahead and put it at 6, take it over there and just kiss the board. And we'll just make sure it's 6 inches to the bottom of the blade, not the top of the blade. I can't remember. You might need to. Oh, you're good.
Ooh, close.
Get it real close. Yeah. There. So now I'm just going to measure from the lowest tooth. Okay, yeah, see. I think it's to the top of the blade. So take it up 1/8 of an inch. So that's 6 1/8. Okay. 6 1/8 for me too.
Is that good?
So, yeah, something you also have to consider though. Oh, no.
No?
No, it was correct. What's happening, there's a gap here.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's just because this is bent. The rest of the board is touching, but this cross member's fucking bent down.
You just want to slide the whole thing forward?
Yeah, sure. Let's get into that doubler so I can. Yeah, I need to go memorize some stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I'm about to screw you up. So we can't keep the bottom board. You got that heart. I almost messed you up. So yes, you do need to come up here, make a square cut, and then go down 6 inches. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Bring it up to somewhere in that area. You don't want it to be super thin. You got to have some wood on top of the blade.
Right.
But yeah.
What do you think? What is that, like a quarter?
Good. Yeah, you got about a quarter on one side, 1/2 inch on the other.
Okay.
Because it's the square cut.
And then
so
rip
that.
that.
Looks good. Yeah, go ahead and rip that. And then we'll come back and go down 6.
So 8 3/16, so I'll go to 2 3/16. Damn it. Fucking.
We need to make some money now. So, bid you adieu. Have a good day. Leave a comment. If you got any questions, follow me. Check that out. You'll get it.
I got questions.
Yeah, just some hellos. All right, you guys have a good day. And check back in when you want to learn more about timber and milling.